Well, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here in the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler program. It's so good to see all of you. So good to see all of you. We're already here at September the 23rd. It's Thursday, you all. The week is going by. The month is going by. We are here in fall. It's fall already. Listen, if you are stopping by my channel for the first time, stop. Please stop. I only need 1,800 seconds. That's all we tend to spend here on a good day. We just spend 1,800 seconds. And this channel is about motivation. It's about inspiration. It's about taking the time to examine how the day was, how the day went, what the day was like. And of course, we're saying the day wasn't a flop. It wasn't all bad. We're just taking a moment to see if we can show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. All right. Do me a favor, as you're coming to the chat room, invite somebody else. So let me know where you're tuning in from, at least what state. You can put what city if you want, but at least let me know what state you're joining from. But I'm telling you all, this channel, again, is about inspiration, motivation, and challenges to be a little bit better, because we have enough bad news every single day. What we've been doing on this channel is to read from this book right here, Billboards to Better, 366 Daily Sources of Motivation and Inspiration Along the Highway of Life. I'll tell you a little bit more about this book in just a moment, but you all listen. We read the quotes, and I tend to start with a probing question. And today it's not going to be any different. I start with the probing question. Today it's not going to be any different because I like to sort of get you thinking. The question is, what do laughter, push-ups, and boxes have in common? What do laughter, push-ups, and boxes have in common? I'm going to talk about that just as soon as I come back. But do me a favor, tell somebody else that Cutler is on the air. Tell them, stop what you're doing. Come on, let's talk to Cutler. I'll be right back.
Let's talk to Cutler. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk to Cutler. Woo!
All right, I'm back, and I'm so glad to see so many of you joining me over here in the chat room. Thank you all so much. Let me just shout out our LTTC VIPs for the evening. They are Natural Diva. She says, good evening, everyone. Enjoying cooler temperatures in Texas for the moment. I'm jealous, of course, but we have some cooler temperature here too. We have some cooler temperatures here too. So I'm sort of enjoying the day. Annie Cutler said, let's ride. Mick Diana said, good evening, all. And she's joining from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, former DMV resident. It's so good to see all of you. Make sure you go and tell somebody, come on, and then tell them, make sure if this is your first, second, or third time, whatever time it is, make sure that you do a click on that subscription, subscribe to the channel. And then after you subscribe, go ahead and click on the notifications bell, because the notification bell will just simply let you know whenever I've uploaded new content. It will also let you know whenever I've gone live. Okay. So then you all come on in the chat, get ready to talk to me, because there are some interesting conversations that we are going to have this evening. Again, we are reading and we're talking from this book right here, Billboards to Better, 366 Daily Sources of Motivation and Inspiration Along the Highway of Life. This is my 7th book. It's available over on Amazon.com, and you can run right over there and get it. You don't need it to join the conversation. You really don't, but it helps because it just gives you the quotes right there on your nightstand, on your table, on your desk, or wherever you choose to put it, in your car, wherever you have it. There's a daily quote. There's a daily source of inspiration for you to take and digest. So what we do in this forum, we look at them, unpeel them. We look at the backdrop stories, the behind the scenes stories, to see how do they apply? How could they be a part of my life? And if not my life, how could these quotes be a part of somebody's life who is a part of my life? All right. Not every quote is necessarily for everybody. I get that, but I promise you there is a quote in this book, especially for you. So we're going to start with our quotes for, we typically will look at, this is Thursday, so it would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, there's a quote for Saturday. Take it, do whatever you want to with it. But all right, I want to get started because I have a whole lot to say and a little time to say it in. All right. So good to see all of you. Remember, as you're coming in, let me know where you're joining from. All right, let's talk about these quotes. Today is the 23rd, so we're going to read the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. The quote for the 23rd, for the 22nd rather, says, "One of the worst things that you could ever steal from a child is his laughter." One of the worst things that you could ever steal from a child is his laughter. And I know some of you have heard me talk about this quote in particular because it really is, it's close to me. It's near and dear to my heart. But this quote reminds me of an older quote, not one of mine, but it reminds me of a quote that says, "Laughter is the best medicine." And while laughter in the eyes of some may not necessarily be the best medicine, it definitely is good medicine. Laughter is a gift, you all, that allows us to deal with sadness and fear and all those spaces like anger and disappointment, so many other negative moments in our lives. Laughter helps us. It is a gift that helps us to deal with those moments. It really, really does. It allows us to escape from the dark spaces in our lives. It usually gives us a holiday or a vacation from the weights that we tend to carry most of the time. That's why sometimes it's just good to disconnect and watch something funny, read something funny, or or in my case, sometimes just call somebody who you know is going to have you in stitches. I'm thankful that I have a few people like that in my life who I know when I call them, they're going to have me in stitches. Life is already filled with enough sadness and sorrow. So there are times when you have to be the commander of your own joy. Wow. Let me say that again because it spoke to me. There are some times when you have to be the commander of your own joy, your own happiness, your own laughter. I'm going to ask you this. When was the last time you laughed? And I mean really laughed. When was the last time you really laughed? Thank you, Queen of the Mall. She says, make sure you hit that come on, make sure that you hit that like button. Please do. Thank you. Thank you. When was the last time that you laughed, you all? And I mean really laughed to the point where your sides were hurting, to the point where tears were coming out of your eyes, to the point of struggling to catch your breath. When was the last time you laughed so hard that you temporarily forgot everything else except that moment? That is the space that I want to bring us to this evening. When was the last time you had that kind of laughter? Learn how to laugh, you all, and give yourself permission to laugh. Give yourself permission to laugh. I've got to offer you all a transparent moment, and you'll understand why this one is so personal to me. I've had a whole lot of losses in my life. And sometimes I thought it was a betrayal to the people that I had lost to laugh while I was in the midst of my grief. I don't know if that is any of you, but I want to share that. I really feel compelled to share that with you all. Just this week alone, I've heard about the death of 5 people that I know, and this is just Thursday. And in my life, I've had so many losses. And again, I thought it was a betrayal to the people who had passed for me to laugh while I was in the midst of my grief. Has anybody else ever felt like that? But let me help set some of us free tonight, you all. Learn to laugh in the midst of everything. And don't let other people control, patrol, or manipulate the moments that come to heal you. Sometimes in the midst of your sorrow, you need healing. Sometimes in the midst of your pain, in the midst of your grief, you need the healing that laughter can offer. And then please allow other people, give them the space to do the same thing. I hope I'm helping somebody tonight. This quote in particular talks about children and laughing. One of the most enjoyable sounds that I think I would have ever heard my entire life is the sound of a child who laughs. Show me a person who never laughed as a child, and I'll show you a person who still don't know how to live as an adult. Have you ever met an adult and you wondered why they were just mean and nasty and bitter? Sometimes it's because people robbed them of their laughter as a child. Ever met any adults who were always negative, always naysayers, who can always find the bad in every situation? Chances are you all that those people were robbed of laughter as children. They're adults still trying to get over the hurt that was inflicted during their childhood. That's why I think it's a cardinal sin to rob a child of laughter. The truth of the matter, and we know this to be true, the world can be a cold and cruel place as it already is. So we need to allow people to have their escapes and their moments of respite, their getaways, their vacations where they can laugh. Let me ask you all this. What do you do for laughter? Talk to me. And please, while we're talking, go ahead and hit the like button, because it says to Amazon, it says to YouTube, hey, I like what the guy's talking about, but it encourages me. It lets me know that you are getting something out of this conversation. I want to know you all, what do you do for laughter? How do you brighten the dark moments in your life? How do you navigate? If we're talking about being the commander of our own joy, how do you navigate those moments that would otherwise only bring tears? May I suggest to you what I've learned to do? I didn't always know this, you all, but may I suggest to you what I've learned to do? I've learned to build what I call a laughter index. My index consists of several things. I learned to call people who make me laugh. And I learned to recall the memories that make me laugh. And then I've learned to store a few movies that make me laugh. Learn how to build your laughter index. Be intentional about being the commander of your own joy, your own laughter. This pandemic that we're going through, this next phase with this Delta variant, even in the midst of death, you all, learn how to give yourself permission to escape in laughter. And then be mindful that you don't interfere with anybody else's right to do the same thing. When I was growing up, I remember certain people asking me. As a kid, I would sometimes laugh, and then there were adults who would say, "What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?" And it never occurred to me until I got older that perhaps they would have lived a little longer if some of them were not so bitter. There's a scripture saying that says a merry heart does good like medicine. So what am I saying, you all? Learn to laugh. It just might help us live a little longer. But while you're here in the chat, just let me know. What do you do? What do you do to escape? What makes you laugh? Please share with me. I'm really interested in knowing what you do for laughter. One person said, all I have to do is text my husband or a few other family and friends, and I'm guaranteed a good laugh. Yeah, make sure you build a laughter index. That may sound strange. It may sound foreign to a lot of people. But make sure that you build a laughter index. One person says, I watch horror movies. That's funny, MP. I watch horror movies because some of them they really are funny. But learn how to build a laughter index, you all. I'm telling you, learn how to build a laughter index. Sometimes when I talk to my mother, she says, well, you've learned how to entertain yourself. Yes, ma'am, is always my response. I didn't always know how to. As a child, even though I have siblings, I learned how to entertain myself. But as an adult, I've learned how to pull the right people into my laughter index so that I don't have to navigate life alone. So that I know how to escape from those dark moments and those dark situations. I offer that to you, my friends, my family, my fellow passengers, because we're riding along this highway of life to this space, and this place is called better. That works for me, to learn how to laugh. I'm better because of my laughter. I've been healed because of my laughter. I've been pulled out of dark moments because of my laughter. So I'm sharing that with you all. All right, I want to go to the next quote. Again, we're just here for 1,800 seconds. This book is available over on Amazon.com. Run on over and get it. We're just chatting from this book. All right, the next quote for September the 23rd says this: life is like a gym where we pull up ourselves and push up our brothers and our sisters. Life is like a gym where we pull up ourselves and we push up our brothers and our sisters, and of course, our fellow passengers. A few days ago, you remember we talked about this whole notion of self-care, Of course, we went on to develop the conversation. We talked about the vaccine, but it was basically about self-care and self-love and self-concern. Well, at its core, this quote is very much in alignment with that because it is about self-improvement. It's about becoming better. Billboards to better, you all. This quote is about becoming better. This one is it's meant to encourage you to get in the gym, not necessarily a physical gym with four walls, but the gym of life, and work on becoming a better you. It's just like in the gym, where you might not see an outward transformation overnight, but what I believe, you all, is that inwardly you become better as soon as you set your mind to becoming better. Life is like a gym where we pull up ourselves and push up our brothers and sisters. When you set your mind to becoming better inwardly, your better transformation begins. As soon as you think you can be better, guess what? Better comes looking for you. Better causes you to pay more attention to you. Better causes you to be more aware of whether or not you exercise and how you eat, how you take care of yourself. Better causes you to stop eating some of the junk and the garbage. And no, I'm not going down that lane tonight. I'm not really talking about natural foods. I'm not talking about food, you all, but I mean, you'll stop ingesting some of the negative thoughts and some of the negative opinions of others. You'll stop inflicting pain on yourself. You'll stop plotting courses for self-sabotage. You'll learn how to forgive others and learn and love yourself. That's what happens when you're in the gym of life and you're on your way working because you believe in better. And you believe that better is already yours. You will resolve, you all, when better is in your mind, you will resolve within yourself that there is a more excellent me on the inside, and the world deserves to see it. Deserves to see him and deserves to see her. You'll surround yourself with positive people. I hope I am just sharing this with affirmation. Think better. And when you think better, all of these things will happen. You will surround yourself with positive people. You'll clear your mind of the clutter. You'll rehearse affirmations over and over that are designed to build you and not break you, to help you and not harm you, to set you up and not set you back. And while you are working on you, you will be very discriminating about the people who you allow to come into your life. And you will only allow those people in your life who are there to do hurt, who are there not to do hurt, but to do help. Not to do bad, but to do good. You will allow people in your life who they themselves are aligned with your destiny and your purpose. You will allow people in your life who don't mind getting under you and undergirding you and pushing you up, so that when you've gone as high as you can go by yourself, they can push you up to go a little farther. Start bringing those people into your lives. Don't ever try to be your only source of motivation. Don't ever try to be your only source of help. Don't ever try to be your only source of healing. Don't ever try to be your only source of deliverance. Why, Cutler, would you say that? Because if I am my only source of deliverance, and some of you may have heard me say this before, if I am my only source of deliverance, then I can never rise above myself. And sometimes I need to be able to go higher than I can go by myself. It's called the gym of life. Pulling up ourselves and pushing up others. That's just what we do, you all. We all need people in our lives. And specifically, we need people who can do at least three things. I need to share this with you all from a personal perspective. And I hope you lay hold to this. I allow people in my life who can do at least three things: push, pull, and pray. You need people who know how to push you when they're following you. You need people who know how to pull you when they're leading you. And I don't know about you, but I need people who know how to pray no matter where they're standing in my life. Make sure that you have the right people in your life. All right? I hope that speaks to somebody Life is like a gym where we pull up ourselves and push up our brothers and our sisters. Learn to examine your circles and see who's in your life and whose lives are you in. Are the people in my life aligned with my purpose, aligned with my destiny? Am I affiliated and associated with people whose destiny I'm aware of, whose purposes I know about? Sometimes it's okay to say, listen, I need to step back, step out, step away. All right. I'm going to go to another quote, the quote for September 24th. Good evening. Thank you. Those of you who are still joining and come to the chat, thank you so much. Please do me a favor and do a thumbs up on the conversation as you're coming in. It's just good to see all of you. All right. The quote for September 24th says this, you all. Learn to think and live outside the box before you are finally placed in a box. My God. Learn to think and live outside the box before you are finally placed in a box. I think I shared with you just a few moments ago that I was made aware of, as a matter of fact, I said 5, but there are 6 people that I know of who have died this week alone. So this quote really speaks to me. Learn to think and live outside of the box before you are finally placed in a box. Learn to appreciate and embrace your own creativity. Don't be held hostage by anybody else's limitations or restrictions of who you are, who you can be, and what you can do. Don't be held hostage by their restrictions. Don't be held hostage by their limitations, you all. Many times I found this to be true. People's perceptions of you are the complete opposite of your reality. Their assessments of who you are, their evaluations of you have very little to do with you. And many times their evaluations of you have more to do with them than with you. Don't let people put you in a box. Why would I say that? Because the truth of the matter is that you all, sometimes people will put you in a box, they'll close the lid, they'll cry at your funeral, and then they'll dance in the space that should have been yours. I know I said a whole mouthful then, but it's true. Don't allow people to put you in a box, you all. Because again, they'll put you in the box, they'll close the lid, they'll cry at your funeral, and then they'll dance in the space that should have been yours. What are you encouraging tonight, Cutler? I'm encouraging you to learn how to take the reins of your own life. Learn how to plot your own course. No matter how short or long your life might be, you all, I understand that there are many times when we have people in our spaces who are coaching us, who are cheering us, and who are pushing us on to greatness. But be very careful about people who put restrictions and impose these glass ceilings on you. Glass ceilings ain't got nothing to do with you, but a lot of times it has to do with them and a reflection of who they are, where they've been, and what their experiences in life look like. Be careful about people who will push you in the wrong lane, leave you out there, and won't even throw a lifeline to help reel you back in. Be careful about people who will stifle your dreams by telling you to always play safe. Play it safe. You know what's inside of you, and sometimes it's okay to dare to be different. Y'all know I only have 1,800 seconds, so let me get this out. You are not required to be a cookie cutter version of what someone else expects you to be. You are not required to follow the template that's based on limitations and restrictions. You're not required to follow that. You don't have to follow the mold, but you can break the mold and create your own. Plot your own course, set your own pattern, so that when other people mark the perfect man or the perfect woman, they have their eyes on you. They're interested in how you live, what you did, what you do, how you show up, how you be, how you present, how you were not held hostage to other people's restrictions and their opinions of who you are and what you could do and where you could be. Don't let people hold you back. Don't let them put you in a box. Why is this so personal? Because I think about children, you all, and if you have children and young people in your life, don't ever stifle their creativity or their imagination or their hopes and dreams. Because children are the ones who show us that we can become the very thing that we dream of. Some of you all have been following and listening to me long enough to know that when I was a little boy, I didn't have a whole lot. But I dared to dream of a day when I didn't have to walk barefoot down a dirt road. I dared to dream of a day when I would travel the world. I dared to dream of the day when I had not just one, but more than one degree. I dared to dream of a day when I wouldn't be restricted by living in a small town. But I could go as high as I want. I could dream and never stop dreaming. And that I could wake up into the reality of what those dreams really meant. And just the reality of the dreams themselves. Learn to think outside of the box, you all. Learn to think and live outside of the box as often as you can before you're finally placed in a box. You'll be in a box soon enough one day. But while you are alive, as long as you don't hurt anybody else or harm yourself, tap into your God-given creativity as often as you can. That's all I'm trying to say. I only have 1,800 seconds, you all. And you know we're on Word Guard this month. We're still on Word Guard, and we're speaking positivity over our lives and over the people in our lives, over the situations and the circumstances in our lives. So while we're on Word Guard, I've talked about I need people who can push, pray, and pull. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the letter P tonight. That's how we're going to go out. We're going to use the letter P, and we're going to come up with these positive words with these I am statements. So I want you to get your words in mind, and we're going to talk about these. We're going to speak positivity. Words that begin with P. So it's I am, and you all give me a word that begins with P, and let's see if we can work this thing out. Let's see if we can close by doing this. I hope you all have been enjoying this. This is what somebody called a September to remember, because we're on Word Guard and we're speaking positivity over our lives, over ourselves, and over everything that concerns us. One of the P's that comes to mind is I am. Thank you. I'm personable. I get along with people. I don't have any difficulty navigating spaces and circles. I am personable. I am proactive. I move quickly. I think in advance. I like to plan. I'm proactive. I'm personable. You all come on, start giving them to me. I am prosperous. I don't sulk in lack. I don't sulk in want. I don't sulk in need, but I am prosperous. I have everything. As a matter of fact, I have more than I need because my cup runs over. I am present. I know how to show up. I know how to be. I know how to be where I'm supposed to be. I know how to exist where I exist. So I am present. I show up in all that I am and who I am. I'm persistent. I don't stop just because I see a hurdle, just because I see a barrier, just because I see a pothole, but I'm persistent. I don't stop just because you tell me no the very first time. I'm patient. I know how to deal with the situation. I know how to be at peace. I know how to be at peace when it seems like I'm dealing with difficulties. I'm patient. I know how to wait. I don't know. I don't worry about being in a hurry all the time. Come on, keep giving them to me, you all. Keep giving. These are positive statements beginning with the word P because we're on Word Guard. What about I am peaceful? I seek to live harmoniously. I seek to live absent chaos. When I speak with people, I'm peaceful. When I deal with myself, I'm peaceful. I'm not destructive. Keep giving them to me. I am what? I have what? I am productive. I learn how to work. I don't mind working. I know how to make things happen. I love these. You all keep giving. I am particular about who I allow in my life, what I allow in my life, what I allow to come in. I'm particular. I am positive. I'm upbeat. I'm optimistic. I see the bright side of things. Stuff doesn't always get me down because I have a positive outlook. Yeah, Angela, I am precious. I am valuable. As a matter of fact, I'm invaluable. You can't put a price on me. I'm precious. Like the gems, the diamonds, the rubies, the emeralds, I'm precious. I have value. I have value in the sight of Creator. And if I have value in the sight of nobody else, I've got value in my own sight. I'm going to throw you one, you all, and you might not like it, but I need to throw you this one. I am perfect. And I don't mean I am flawless, but I mean perfect in terms of I am complete, I am whole, I am enough. Come on, you all keep giving them to me. I am purpose, living on purpose. Purposeful, yes. So I have purpose. I'm in purpose. I'm living on purpose. My life is not, it's not happening by mistake. My life is not unfolding by happenstance, but I'm direct. I'm purposeful. I'm heading toward destiny. Purpose means there's a lesson in the things that I'm doing. There's stuff that I'm learning that I can share. What else, you all? I'm pleasant. Plenty. Yes, I am, and I have plenty. And that thank you. I love that one because that you all know I say it all the time. My life is filled with promise. My life is filled with blessings. My life is filled with goodness. That's why my cup runs over. I have plenty. I'm polite. I'm prayerful. I'm passionate about life. I want to thank you all so much. Thank you for sharing this space and this time. Thank you for sharing this month where we're on Word Guard and we're speaking positivity over our lives. I hope you all enjoy this segment because guess what? Next week, we're going to do some of the same thing. We're going to keep speaking positive affirmations over our lives and the lives of everybody and everything that's connected with us. So next week, until we see each other next week, listen, run and get this book if you want to. It's on Amazon. But if you don't have the book, don't let that stop you from showing up. Show up. Be present, you all. And until then, let's keep maintaining connectivity. Let's keep doing it. Building community. Staying safe. Staying sane. Keeping our heads up and keeping our hopes up. I see you. I'm a planter. I love that one, Annie Cutler. I'm a planter. My life has taught me, has given me the wisdom and the ability to sow seeds in the lives of other people. I'm a planter. I plant not only in their lives, but my life, expecting one day to reap the harvest of what I've planted. Don't make me stop and start all over again. You all make sure that you have a nice evening. Make sure that you have a nice evening. Show up and let's meet in this space next week at the same time. Please know until then, from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Good night, everybody.